So, how do you get a surety bond when one is being requested from you? Well, what is a surety bond first? A surety bond is basically a guarantee by a bonding company that something is going to happen or that you're going to do something or they're backing up what your words are. The most common type of bond I'm sure you heard of is a bail bond. A surety bail bond says you're going to show up in court. You hear about that one because it's always on TV shows, right? On cop shows and police and courtroom shows like Law and Order. But there's many other types of bonds. In fact, surety bonds for bail bonds is not the most common type. The most common types are license bonds and also performance bonds. What does that mean? Well, you see on the screen we have one example of an appraiser's board surety bond. So if you're going to be a real estate appraiser, in most states, this happened to be Georgia, you go through a licensing exam, you have some training, you have to do a bunch of background checks, and then you have to post a bond with the state real estate appraisers board. You can see that's an official government entity. They're the ones who are requiring this bond. Why do they want a bond? They want to make sure there's a bond in case you mess up and you don't do something correct as a licensed appraiser, because they gave you the license from the government. If you mess up, there's a bond that will help pay any losses that customers have, right? Or your clients have. So many types of licenses you need to buy a surety bond. Insurance, appraisers, real estate agents, attorneys, contractors, electricians. There are hundreds of types of professions that the professional needs to have a surety bond. I'm sure you've seen trucks driving around. Maybe a contractor says licensed, bonded, and insured, right? Many types of licenses require a surety bond and or insurance. So how do you get one if you are filing for a license or you're filing for a contract? Well, first you have to contact a surety company. You can see on the link below one that we're associated with that we recommend is called probonds.com. Probonds, probonds.com. And like any other bonding company, they are one of three parties to every bond. Every bond has three parties. One is called the surety. That's the company, the insurance company that's writing the bond. The other one is called the obligee. The obligee is the person demanding the bond. Okay. In this case, the obligee would be the Georgia Real Estate Appraisers Board. If you're getting, let's say, a contractor's license, it might be the Contractor Licensing Board. If it was, let's say, the court, it might be the Circuit Court. They're the obligee. They're the one who's getting the obligation from the principal, which is the third party. The principal is the person that purchases the bond from the surety, from the first party. So if you are Sally Smith, real estate appraiser, you would be the principal. The obligee, the real estate appraisers board, would say, Sally Smith, you need to buy a surety bond in order to get your license. And Sally Smith would go to the surety, which would be, let's say, probonds.com, and buy the bond. The bond will be signed and executed by the surety, submitted to the obligee, and you get your license. Licenses are only one type of surety. Another type of surety bond is a performance bond or a contract bond. Let's say you are a general contractor and you're being hired to build a bridge. And the client is putting out bids. I want you to bid on building this bridge across this river. Okay, I'm going to bid $4,800,000. Okay, and somebody else bids $5 million. Somebody else bids $5.5 million. And the client says, we like this low bid, but we're worried that because it's a low bid, maybe they won't be able to finish the bridge. Maybe they bid too low. Maybe they made a mistake in the math. Maybe they just are desperate for business. So we're going to require that you purchase a performance bond or a contract bond. So if you don't finish the bridge, the bond steps in and pays somebody else to finish the bridge, right? So in that case, you would be the principal as Bob's Builders. The obligee would be, let's say, the city that's hiring you to build a bridge, and the surety again would be the company like ProBonds. And that surety bond helps the client have confidence in you that they know you're good for this bridge, right? You're going to be able to finish the job, and if you don't, somebody's here with deep pockets is going to pay the money. Now, keep in mind that surety companies, if they have to pay out, they go to you to look to get paid back, and we'll talk about that in another video. So be sure you know what you're getting into. So the way you get a bond, it's very simple. You select what type of bond you want, and ProBonds has a very good dashboard for this. You select what kind of bond you want, what state it's in, how much it is, hit enter, and it quotes it out. So let's take a look at one at ProBonds, right? Let's say Georgia. We're going to use the example from the last page. Georgia. Search for bond by keyword. Well, what were they calling it over here? They were calling it a real estate appraiser's board. Use it as least words as possible. Let's start typing in real estate. And let's just go with real estate. Let's just see if that's enough. Let's hit search and see if anything comes up. Can't find what you're looking for. Okay, let's just type in appraiser. Search. So once I pulled that up, you'll see that it'll ask some basic questions. It'll ask how much the bond amount is for, in this case, $20,000. The price for the bond is going to be $200. The dates. It'll have what type of entity. Is it a partnership, LLC? It'll have some basic information about the business details, what's the address, contact person, and then click the button, I'm not a robot, click the button for payment, and then you can review the bond form and download it. It's pretty straightforward. Happens pretty fast. So once you know what kind of bond you want, just go right into the app, start clicking buttons. Next thing you know, you can normally get a bond instantly. If the bond is more than about 50 or 60,000, sometimes they have to do a little bit of manual underwriting that might take a little longer. But normally it's pretty quick. So that's a quick run through on how to get a bond. If you do have more questions about what goes into a surety bond and what are the parameters, what are the criteria, you can click the link below. You can arrange a consultation with a licensed surety bond producer, normally myself, one of our other agents. We'd be glad to be of assistance. But that's a good way to obtain surety bonds and how they're used to help further a business or to help satisfy the requirements of some government agency. Thank you for watching another video at actualhuman.com and describe.tv. Remember, if you have questions or comments about our videos, put them in the link below. Also, remember that you have availability and access to live one-on-one question and answer consultation with a licensed expert in a number of fields: investigations, insurance, surety bonds, civil court mediation, even things like real estate records research, real estate brokers, real estate mortgage lenders. In addition, you're going to find that experts are available in business segments, business development, marketing, advertising, certified licensed experts. So if you do find this content valuable and you want to delve more deeply into a subject, you can't ask YouTube a question, right? But if you want to talk to somebody live, an actual human, use the link below. Thanks for watching.